Welcome back, basketball fans, to the channel where we break down the most explosive, the most groundbreaking, and the absolute most thrilling news in the world of hoops. Today, we are not just talking about a regular game. We are not just talking about a regular player. We're talking about a seismic shift in the landscape of international basketball, a moment that will be remembered as the turning point for one of the most polarizing, heavily scrutinized, and immensely talented young big men on the planet. I am talking, of course, about the pride of the Philippines, the kaiju himself, Kai Sotto. You have read the title of this video. You have seen the thumbnail. And I know exactly what you are thinking. You are wondering if this is just another exaggerated claim, if this is just pure hype, or if the 7'3" phenom has truly taken that monstrous, definitive leap that an entire nation of over 100 million deeply passionate, basketball-crazy people has been desperately waiting for. Well, brace yourselves, grab a seat, and listen very closely, because what I am about to reveal to you today is absolutely not just hype. It is cold, hard, undisputed fact backed by the most astonishing inside information that has just been brought to light. Kai Sotto is not just surviving in the highly competitive environment of the Japan BLeague. He is not just blending in. He is not just putting up decent, pedestrian numbers to secure a paycheck. No, ladies and gentlemen, he is systematically dismantling the competition. And we are not talking about local, undersized matchups. We are talking about grown men, seasoned veterans, elite athletes who have tasted the ultimate dream, former National Basketball Association players, highly touted imports who have crossed the Pacific Ocean with the sole intention to dominate the Asian basketball leagues, only to find themselves completely neutralized, outplayed, outsmarted, and completely overpowered by the 21-year-old Filipino prodigy. But believe me when I say that is only half of the story we are covering today. The other half, the part that has the entire global basketball community absolutely buzzing, the part that has scouts scrambling for their notepads and front office executives re-evaluating their scouting reports, revolves around a shocking, completely unexpected, and incredibly candid confession from Kai Sotto's own agent. This is a confession that completely pulls back the curtain on everything that has been happening behind closed doors over the past few years. We are going to expose the private workouts, the brutal, bone-crushing training regimens, the secret boardroom negotiations, the frustration of past draft nights, and the brilliant, methodical master plan that is currently unfolding right before our very eyes in the land of the rising sun. For years, the narrative surrounding Kai Sotto has been one of immense potential weighed down by immense pressure. We have all heard the critics. We have all seen the doubters in the comment sections, the skeptical analysts on sports television networks, the international scouts who claimed he was too thin, too slow, or simply unready for the punishing physicality of elite, top-tier professional basketball. When he went undrafted, there were whispers that the dream was over, that the pursuit of becoming the first homegrown, full-blooded Filipino player to step onto an NBA court was nothing more than an elusive fantasy. But what those critics failed to account for was the sheer resilience, the unbreakable mental fortitude, and the relentless work ethic of a young man who absolutely refuses to take no for an answer. What we are witnessing right now in the Japan BLeague is nothing short of a basketball renaissance. We are seeing a player who has completely transformed his physical frame, who has weaponized his length, who has sharpened his basketball IQ to a razor's edge, and who is now stepping onto the hardwood with an unmistakable swagger and a terrifying level of confidence. He is looking former NBA big men dead in the eye and letting them know, in no uncertain terms, that the paint belongs to him. And this agent's confession? It is the missing puzzle piece that explains exactly how this transformation happened. It details the deliberate, calculated decision to step away from the glaring spotlight of the United States developmental leagues, to bypass the noise and the distractions, and to immerse himself in the highly disciplined, highly tactical, and fiercely competitive environment of Japanese professional basketball. It is a confession that reveals the exact timeline of his physical development, the specific areas of his game that were targeted for improvement, and, most importantly, the staggering amount of interest he is currently generating from NBA franchises who are now kicking themselves for letting him slip through their fingers. So, if you thought you knew the Kai Sotto story, if you thought you had him figured out, I am telling you right now to erase everything you think you know. We are about to dive into a breakdown so comprehensive, so incredibly detailed, and so full of exclusive insights that you will never look at his journey the same way again. We are going to analyze the tape, we are going to break down the matchups against these former NBA players, we are going to dissect the tactical adjustments he has made to dominate the pick and roll, and we are going to read between the lines of this explosive agent confession to determine exactly what the future holds for the kaiju. Are we looking at an imminent return to the United States? Is a two-way NBA contract currently sitting on a table waiting to be signed? How exactly did he manage to out-rebound, outblock, and outscore athletes who have shared the floor with LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and Stephen Curry? All of these questions and so much more will be answered right here, right now, in this definitive ultimate analysis of Kai Sotto's absolute masterclass in the Japan B-League. Do not touch that dial, do not skip forward, and make sure you are locked in, because this is the deep dive you have been waiting for, and it begins right now. Let us transition directly into the core of the matter, peeling back the layers of this phenomenal development. To truly understand the magnitude of what Kai Sotto is achieving in the Japan B-League, we have to first understand the absolute gauntlet that is the Japanese professional basketball circuit. Over the past 5 years, the B-League has quietly but aggressively transformed itself into one of the premier basketball destinations outside of North America and Europe. It is no longer just a developmental league or a retirement home for aging stars. It is a fiercely competitive, highly lucrative, and incredibly physical league that specifically targets high-level foreign imports to anchor their franchises. The rules of the B-League allow teams to sign top-tier international players, and because of the massive financial backing of these Japanese clubs, they are consistently attracting players who are fresh out of the NBA, players who have dominated the G-League, and players who possess elite, world-class size and athleticism. When you step into the paint in the B-League, you are not facing local prospects. You are going to war with literal giants who have fought in the trenches of the National Basketball Association. And this is precisely where the narrative surrounding Kai Sotto takes its most dramatic turn. For the Kashigaya Alphas, Kai Sotto has become the ultimate equalizer. We have meticulously reviewed the game film, pored over the advanced analytics, and analyzed his performances game by game, possession by possession. The numbers are absolutely staggering, but the eye test is even more convincing. Let us talk about the specific matchups against these former NBA players. Let us talk about the men who were supposed to physically bully Kai Sotto, the men who were supposed to use their superior mass and veteran savvy to push him off the block and secure positioning. Instead, we are seeing Kai Sotto utilize a level of functional strength that simply was not there a year ago. He is holding his ground in the low post. When a former NBA power forward tries to back him down, they are meeting a brick wall of lowered center of gravity and core stability. Kai has fundamentally altered his biomechanics. He is no longer playing tall and upright, making himself vulnerable to being uprooted. He is bending his knees, widening his base, and absorbing contact before exploding upward with his incredible 7'3" frame and 7'5" wingspan. When you watch him contest shots at the rim against these ex-NBA athletes, it is a masterclass in timing and verticality. He is not just wildly swinging at the basketball and picking up cheap fouls. He is exhibiting the discipline of a 10-year veteran. He is tracking the eyes of the ball handler, anticipating the gather step, waiting for the offensive player to leave their feet, and then swallowing the basketball whole at its absolute apex. We have seen him pin the shots of former NBA draft picks against the backboard. We have seen him switch out onto the perimeter, slide his feet with shocking lateral quickness for a man of his size, and force guards into highly contested, low-percentage step-back jumpers. The defensive versatility he is displaying is exactly what modern NBA general managers salivate over. He is proving that he can play drop coverage against the pick-and-roll effectively, but he is also proving that he can hedge, recover, and contest without losing his balance. But as spectacular as his defensive anchoring has been, it is his offensive evolution that has these former NBA players scratching their heads in pure frustration. Kai Sotto has developed an offensive package that is incredibly difficult to scout and even harder to stop. Let us look at his high-post facilitation. The Kashigaya Alphas are literally running their offense through him at the elbows. When he catches the ball, he holds it high above his head, rendering the defense completely helpless to strip it. From there, he surveys the floor with the vision of a point guard. He is threading bounce passes to backdoor cutters with laser precision. He is throwing skip passes out of double teams to wide-open shooters in the opposite corner. And if the defense sags off to deny the pass, he is confidently rising up and draining the mid-range jumper with a remarkably fluid and consistent shooting stroke. The release point on his jump shot is so high that it is virtually unblockable, even by the elite athletic standards of the ex-NBA players tasked with guarding him. Furthermore, his interior scoring has taken a massive leap forward. He is no longer relying solely on putbacks and lob catches, although he is certainly dominating in those areas as well. He is demanding the basketball on the block. He is executing drop steps with sudden, violent quickness. He has developed a soft, ambidextrous hook shot that he can hit over either shoulder. He is utilizing up and under moves, showing incredible patience and footwork, getting his defender in the air, and stepping through for the easy finish. And let us not forget the perimeter game. The threat of the three-point shot has completely opened up the floor for him. When opposing big men are forced to close out all the way to the three-point line to respect his shooting touch, Kai is simply putting the ball on the floor, attacking the closeout with a long, sweeping first step, and finishing at the rim with authority. He is beating them with speed, he is beating them with skill, and when necessary, he is beating them with sheer force. Now, let us transition to the second, incredibly explosive element of this news, the confession from Kai Sotto's agent. For months, the camp surrounding Kai has been notoriously tight-lipped. They have operated in the shadows, letting the play on the court do the talking. But recently, a stunning revelation was made public, a confession that sheds entirely new light on the strategic roadmap of Kai's career. According to the agent's statements, the decision to play in the B-League and the absolute dominance we are witnessing now was never an accident. It was not a fallback plan. It was a highly calculated, meticulously designed laboratory for Kai to address the exact criticisms that kept him out of the NBA draft 2 years ago. The agent confessed that after the draft night disappointment, they received immediate feedback from multiple NBA front offices. The feedback was universal. We love the size. We love the touch. We love the IQ. But we need to see him sustain physical punishment over a long season against grown men, and we need to see him dominate a professional league before we invest a guaranteed roster spot. The agent's confession revealed that they literally turned down more lucrative, less demanding offers in other regions to specifically target the B-League because of its high concentration of ex-NBA physical big men. They intentionally put Kai into the fire. They wanted him to face the very players who had the jobs that Kai ultimately wants. The agent admitted that the first few months were grueling, involving a complete overhaul of Kai's nutritional intake, his weightlifting regimen, and his recovery protocols. They brought in specialized biomechanics experts to refine his running gait to prevent lower body injuries, a problem that has plagued so many players of his stature. They isolated his weaknesses and attacked them ruthlessly in the gym. But the most breathtaking part of the confession was the revelation regarding current NBA interest. The agent explicitly stated, confessed, if you will, that the phone has not stopped ringing for the past 4 weeks. As the highlight reels of Kai dominating these ex-NBA players began circulating through the scouting networks, the narrative instantly flipped. The teams that passed on him are now reaching out, requesting updated medicals, requesting private sit-downs, and actively discussing the parameters of bringing him over. The agent confessed that the goal is no longer just to get a summer league invite or a training camp flyer. The leverage has shifted. Kai Sotto has proven his worth on a massive stage, against elite competition, and the agent's confession made it crystal clear. They are now negotiating from a position of absolute power. The question is no longer, will an NBA team take a chance on Kai Sotto? The question is now, which NBA team presents the best fit, the best developmental track, and the best contractual guarantee for a player who has already proven he can dismantle former NBA talent? Let us think about the psychological weight of this journey. Imagine carrying the hopes and dreams of an entire basketball-obsessed country on your incredibly broad shoulders since you were 14 years old. Every single mistake scrutinized on social media. Every missed shot analyzed in newspaper columns. When the NBA draft night came and went without his name being called, many assumed the pressure had finally broken him. But what this agent's confession highlights, and what his current play emphatically proves, is that the adversity did not break Kai Sotto, it forged him. It hardened him into a lethal, highly efficient basketball machine. He took the rejection, internalized it, and used it as high-octane fuel to power this current resurgence. The ex-NBA players in the B-League are simply collateral damage in Kai Sotto's relentless march toward his ultimate destiny. They are stepping stones. They are the benchmarks he is destroying to prove to the world that he is ready. He is not just knocking on the door of the NBA anymore. He is preparing to kick the door entirely off its hinges. The combination of elite size, improved mobility, a reliable outside shot, high-level rim protection, and a newly discovered aggressive mindset makes him one of the most intriguing international prospects in the world right now, regardless of age. The kaiju is fully awake, the agent has laid the cards on the table, and the basketball world is officially on notice. As we wrap up this extensive deep dive into the extraordinary evolution of Kai Sotto and the staggering revelations from his agent, we have to take a moment to truly appreciate the history we are witnessing. What we have talked about today is not just a sports story. It is a testament to the power of perseverance, the importance of strategic planning, and the unbreakable spirit of a young man who carries the heart of the Philippines every single time he laces up his sneakers. Kai Sotto is systematically proving every single doubter wrong. By facing down former NBA veterans in the grueling environment of the Japan BLeague and thoroughly outplaying them, he has shattered the ceiling of his perceived potential. He has transformed his body, he has elevated his game, and he has forced the elite decision-makers of the National Basketball Association to acknowledge his undeniable talent. The confession from his agent has provided us with the ultimate behind-the-scenes perspective, showing us that this was never just about hoping for a lucky break. It was a masterclass in calculated risk, in intentional development, and in betting on oneself when the rest of the world was looking the other way. The roadmap has been validated. The sacrifices have paid off. And now, as the offers begin to roll in and the future looks brighter than it ever has before, we stand on the precipice of a momentous occasion in international sports history. But I want to turn this over to you, the absolute best basketball community on the internet. I want to hear your thoughts, your analyses, and your predictions down in the comments section below. After hearing this incredibly detailed breakdown, after learning about his dominance over former NBA players, and after hearing the truth behind his agent's shocking confession, where do you see Kai Sotto playing next season? Which NBA franchise do you think provides the absolute best fit for his unique, multifaceted skill set? Do you see him as a dominant force in the paint, a stretch five who can open up the floor, or a defensive anchor who can change the geometry of the game? Let me know your most detailed thoughts right down below. If you found this deep dive informative, if you felt the passion and the analytical depth we brought to this incredibly important topic, please make sure to smash that like button. It truly helps the channel grow and allows us to keep bringing you this level of high-quality, comprehensive basketball coverage. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update, because you better believe we will be tracking every single movement, every single rumor, and every single highlight from Kai Sotto as this incredible journey continues to unfold. The Kaiju has arrived, the world is watching, and the best is undoubtedly yet to come. Thank you so much for tuning in, thank you for your incredible support, and as always, keep the passion for the game alive. I will see you all in the very next video.